after 70 minutes and being 2-0 up, how am I happy with us scraping a draw?
If you don't have a song, you may as well not go to the pub at all.
Lads.
Watch this.
Okay, right. What do we even say about that tonight? We absolutely ran the show for I would say 60 minutes. I'd say. When did Moose score? Moose scored in the 52nd minute. I would say, all right then, 55 minutes. We absolutely ran the show for 55 minutes. And then we just absolutely collapsed. Well, we didn't collapse. What happened were, we went 2-0 up, and then we were like, right, yeah, we've won the game, let's just sit back, just not concede. We don't concede many goals anyway. When you've got a goalkeeper that isn't used to playing football, and you've got a central defender that hasn't played 90 minutes all season, you can't just sit back and defend. If Egan were playing, maybe we could have done that. But you can't. You just can't. And that's what screwed us today. Sitting back. Because if we'd have carried on pushing, playing on that break, we'd have been fine. Anyway, let's start from the beginning. So, Man United in the first half had one shot. And Simon Moore just stopped it quite comfortably. But we were just great. We were brilliant. We were closing them down really, really quickly. Getting stuck in. There were some really good tackles flying in. Playing some brilliant football. Ender, Fleck, Lundstrom, Norwood, Moose, really, really good on the break. McGoldrick playing some great football as usual. The defence looked solid. They didn't look like they offered anything going forward. A couple of times James got down the wing, but that was about it really. I can't remember them carving a good chance in that first half anyway. Obviously we went in 1 goal up. Fleck got a bit lucky, but you make your own luck in this game. Moose just kind of... I wouldn't even say shoulder charge, just kind of, well, yeah, maybe. Moose shoulder charge, Phil Jones out of the way. It was pretty simple just to like lean into him. Phil Jones isn't a great footballer, let's be fair. And then he got to the byline, played it back to Lundstrom. I could not see Lundstrom not missing it, but I thought that were going to go in straight away because it's landing to Lundstrom. He's on fire at the moment. De Gea obviously saved it with his foot and it just came straight back out to Fleck and just hit him and went in. Brilliant. We'll take that all day long. We will. So obviously, yeah, 1-0 up. Still looking the best team by far. By far the best team. Going to half time, still absolutely cruising. Lingard comes on for Jones. So they go to a flat back 4. Created a few more chances. Actually had a couple of shots from distance. Rashford had one. I think Martial had one as well. My issue was we were letting them have way too many shots from distance. And we know what Rashford can do. It either ends up in row Z, corner flag, or in top corner. Or in bottom corner. And with Simon Moore being in the net, obviously I'm not saying anything bad about Simon Moore. But he hasn't played a lot of football. I wouldn't want Rashford having too many shots at Simon Moore, especially when he hits them on the valve and it just swings. Maybe not on the valve, but it just swings all over the place. But they didn't score any goals from anything like that. But that was my issue at the time. We were letting them have way too many shots from distance. Like, that's fair enough in Championship. Let them have shots from distance. It's fine. But in the Premier League, your De Bruyne's, your Rashfords... your even like Jordan and even like some of the really good Premier League midfielders can hit a ball from distance, so we can't let them have too many shots from distance. Anyway, so we kind of catch him on the break. Moose gets a bit of space. I thought he's just going to keep running and running and running because he had the run on whoever it were. If it were Lindelof or if it was Maguire. He had the run on him. I thought he was just going to keep going. But what a finish. Just slid it right in that bottom... Well, not slid it. Just bent it right in that bottom corner. Beautiful. And the thing is, De Gea is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. If De Gea can't reach that, that is in the corner. Excellent, excellent goal. Anyway, so, yeah, as soon as we went 2-0 up, like I said, we sat back. We didn't attack after that. And obviously, Mousse came off. When did Mousse come off? Mousse came off 68th minute. That says everything, doesn't it, really? That says absolutely everything. The fact that we conceded in the 72nd minute. We lost our out ball. We lost that striker who kind of got it down the wing, who held on to it, who ran in behind the defence. We lost that. McGoldrick and McBurney weren't holding it up well enough, and it was just coming back, and they were getting closer and closer and closer. What was the first goal? I'm trying to remember now. It's difficult to remember when you're... It's just a bit... Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Their left back, young lad, ball got kind of cleared. What a finish, though, my son. Fair play. Props to him. Props to that, because that was a finish and half. I was kind of sat right behind it. Just a rocket in that bottom corner. So, yeah, that brought them one back. And the thing was, as I was watching it and could see us going further and further back, I'm like, oh, my God, this just reminds me of the season before last, when we conceded loads and loads of late goals against Cardiff, against, I'm struggling now, Villa. When you go in front and then you kind of end up like, right, let's hold on to this. But I don't even think it was that this time. Normally, well, what we were doing in that season was going 1-0 up or going 2-1 up and then be like, right, let's hold this. And we were conceding loads of goals like towards the end of the game. This one wasn't like that. It weren't like, let's score a goal and let's hold on to it. It was like, scored a goal, scored a second goal, which was great. Like, all the momentum going with us. And be like, right, we're fine. Let's settle on this. We're not going to concede 2-3 goals in this game. We'll just sit back, relax, head balls away. But they weren't just flinging balls into the box, left, right and centre, like Everton and those sort of teams were doing. They were trying to get in behind, and they were getting in behind quite a bit. And I hate to say it, love Jags to bits, but I just felt he didn't have that pace. Feels like he's lost his legs a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. I think he's 36, 37, something like that. It's fair enough. His positional sense was not bad, except for the second goal. I've got to say, I didn't see it from where I was sat, but Jags just wasn't. He didn't have his... he wasn't ready for it, let's just say, because the ball came in and it came right across the front of Jags. And it were an easy tap in for Mason Greenwood. Simon Moore didn't... there wasn't really anything I can blame him for. Like, I don't want to blame him, but there's nothing that I can blame Simon Moore for. The first one was a great finish. Like, I'm not... no one's expecting that left back to smash that in the bottom corner. Second goal, like I've just said, the ball was played across Jags. If Jags were ready for that ball, it'd have cut that out. I'm confident that Johnny Egan would have cut that out. But I'm not placing the blame on Jags. I'm not placing the blame on Jags. We sat back. That's why we conceded goals today. I think that if we wouldn't have sat back and would have kept going, we may have conceded one. We wouldn't have conceded 2 or 3. So that was the problem today. Then the third goal, it was just easy, weren't it? It was just, they got in behind us, played an easy ball across the box. Simon Moore obviously came out to try and narrow the angle, but he ended up miles out of his goal. And then Rashford, obviously, easy finish. And at that point, it brought me back to Villa. Villa away last season, where we threw a 3-0 goal lead away. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. We're done for. We're done for. But they really, really kind of dug in really, really well. And after that goal went in, it just felt like Man United kind of... Man United then sat back, didn't they? Man United sat back and we went forward. It's so stupid how football works. We battered Man United for 55, 60, 65 minutes of the game. Then we were like, nah, we'll sit back now and hold on to it. Then they went forward, scored 3 goals. And then they're like, oh, right, yeah, we're fine now, let's sit back. And then we came back into it. And do you know what? When them balls were coming into the box and we were getting in behind, I could see it coming. I really could. And sometimes you just have that feeling. I had the feeling when we went 2-0 up and they were pushing men forward. I had the feeling that they were going to score. And I didn't know whether it were 1, 2 or 3, but I could have said for definite these are going to score. Because unless they were like really bad in front of goal, which they're not, are they? Let's be fair. And he obviously counted on the youngsters, OLI. Fair play. But yeah, the same as I felt like they were going to come back into that game, I then thought we could nick this. But then I was looking at the score, at the clock, and I'm thinking, have we even got enough time for this? If it probably gone another 5 minutes, we'd probably get another goal. But I was like, I just don't know if we've got enough time here. And then obviously it came. So the ball were played into the box. Wait, I'm trying to think how it happened. It were all a bit scrappy, I think. I've watched it back, so I should really know. But it were all a bit scrappy. And then Robinson got that ball into the box, and I don't know how he did it, to be fair, because there were a lot of bodies in that box. Came to McBurney, and I thought he controlled that with his arm, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't even celebrate. I did not celebrate for 1 second, because I'm like, VAR's going to rule this out. There's not even a point in getting excited. So when McBurney's coming up, because that's where we were sat in the family stand, because lovely people at EA Sports got us 2 free tickets today, which I'm normally on the south stand, but I thought, yeah, they've got us 2 free tickets, let's go and try something a little bit different. So where McBurney was celebrating, that's exactly where we were, and he came up and he's like, come on to the crowd, and I'm like, don't celebrate, mate, just don't celebrate, because it looks like it came up, hit him on the arm, and then he shot. But obviously, he knows best. It was his body. And the thing is, obviously we've seen all season VAR ruling goals out for attackers. It just hitting their arm, whether they mean to or not. And I thought, he may not have meant to control it with his arm, but it definitely looked like he controlled it with his arm. So I was just not celebrating at all. I was like, you're not getting me this time. I celebrated at Spurs when we scored that goal, and then Spurs fans were like, way. I celebrated against Southampton when that got ruled out, Ollie McBurney. I weren't celebrating for this one. And just behind us were the boxers, and you could see on the TV, and a lot of fans were saying, it's not his hand, and I was like, what? What? He looked for a dead cert, they were an handball. Now I've looked at it back, quite a few people are saying it was handball, but I'm trying to be as unbiased. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible here. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure, and that's the thing. You can't give a handball if you aren't sure. And that's where VAR normally falls down, like with the offside rule. If you're not 100% sure if he's offside or not, you shouldn't give it. And with this handball, it kind of hit him in this sort of region where it's like here, he's trying to control it. It's like here-ish. So it's trying to be like, is that a definite handball? Is that his shoulder? Is that his chest? Is that his arm? And if you can't be 100% sure, you've got to go with the referee's decision. And that's exactly what they did. So props to VAR for that as well. Saying that, if that would have been Man United, maybe I'd have had if Man United would have scored that goal, maybe I'd have had a little bit of a different outlook on it. I don't know. I'm trying to be unbiased, but sometimes your brain just tells you something different when you support that football club. But there's a lot of people online saying that wasn't a handball. So whatever. I'm not saying it was handball. I'm not saying it wasn't handball. I'm saying I'm still not sure after checking the replay, and I'm guessing that's why the VAR officials went with the referee's his decision, and it was this man right here, Ollie McBurney. What an absolute legend! I've been critical of him. I have been critical of him this season. How can you see it there? You can't see it. I've been critical of him this season because he's not tried hard enough for me. He hasn't, and I'm not sitting here and saying Ollie McBurney scored a goal. What a player! I said what a legend because he scored a goal that got us a draw against Man United. But he's not been good enough this season. But I'm just hoping that goal kind of spurs him on to score more goals, to play. It's not even about the goals. It's about trying harder, linking up with the players like McGoldrick is, like Mousse is, like Sharp does when he plays. Linking up with him because he just seems not part of the team when he's playing. He's kind of stood up front, waiting for the ball, and then when the ball is in and around him, he's just not really putting it in. But the ball came to him, he took it down on his chest, shall we say, and then hit it. But the thing was, I don't even think it was a great effort. Obviously, you've got to get it on target, you've got to get as much power behind it as possible. De Gea possibly should have saved it, because when it went at him and De Gea got a hand to it, I'm like, oh, he's probably saved this. And he kind of just poured it into the corner. Like, all the replays that you see are slowed down, so obviously it looks like he should have saved it. But I don't think it went in with that much power, so maybe De Gea could have done better. But we don't care. We do not care. Going through the team quickly. Simon Moore, I think he probably could have done maybe better with the third one, because he came flying out and then left all his goal free. So we had defenders out there. He possibly didn't need to come out. So that's the only thing I'm going to say about Moore. I've only seen the goals back. I've not seen anything else. There were one shot that I kind of thought, did he save it? Did he not? It hit the back of the stanchion and went out. So I wasn't sure about that. I was a little bit worried. But Moore did all right. I think it was more the defence in front of him that may have let him down a little bit. I thought Bullock was excellent as usual. I thought Stevens was excellent as usual going forward. At the back, I'm not sure any of the goals are their fault, but it's kind of one of them things where we throw as many men forward and then we kind of get caught on the break sometimes. But that's what happens when you play this. I'd much rather us play the way we do than sit back, 5 men behind the ball, defend. Rather us be getting up that pitch and getting the fullbacks trying to create chances. Jack, he was getting forward, especially at that end. He was getting forward and he wanted a goal, you could see. Bash battled hard. We did get caught on that right hand side a couple of times, which is a bit upsetting, but Bash battled as usual. And what more can you ask for? Bash is not the most talented of footballers, but he seems to be taking the ball off Son, Rashford. He's playing way above his station. Jags, I thought, did some okay things today. Won a couple of nice challenges. Won a lot in the air. I just think he's off the pace. I'm not blaming him. I'm not saying he's too old. I'm not saying... even though I did earlier, I won't say his legs have gone. Just say he's probably not played much football in a long time. And that might be a reason why he was a little bit suspect today. I thought Fleck was excellent. I thought Norwood was excellent. I thought Lundstrom was excellent. The only thing I would say about them, dropping too deep. We should have been pushing the game on, but maybe Wilder was the one who said, like, let's sit back a little bit. But that was obviously the wrong thing to do. I thought McGoldrick in that first half was excellent. I thought for the kind of first half of the second half, he was excellent as well. Obviously came off, but I don't really think he did much wrong. I think when McBurney came on, they ended up both kind of being target men, which I don't think it really worked. Mousse was excellent today, just kind of playing on the last shoulder, running at him. I just think he went down early on. He pulled up, and I think after that, even though he scored that excellent goal, I think after that he wasn't straining himself too much. I think he obviously was carrying an injury. He may not even play in the next game. So let's hope he does, because he would be a massive miss, because he's on fire at the moment. He's like, obviously the goal against West Ham was an excellent finish, put right in that bottom corner. He scored obviously another couple of goals, but like that one today, right in the bottom corner, he's full of confidence, running at the defence. And the thing is, a lot of players, like say Callum Robinson, I think would have just run and maybe eventually got a shot away or got it blocked or got tackled. But he took it really early, and I think that's what caught De Gea out as well. So yeah, brilliant. Well done to Moose again. Obviously got kind of an assist for the first one, because he made the goal. He made the goal by putting Phil Jones on his bottom and then crossing it for Lundstram, which obviously created the goal. So I'm giving him an assist for that, along with John Lundstram, and obviously scored that excellent goal. So fair play to him. Billy didn't really have much chance to do a lot, but he was pushing him further and further back. McBurney did all right when he came on. Yeah, all right. Other than the goal, I don't really remember him doing that much. I'm trying to remember who was the other person that came on. I can't remember. We're Robinson, weren't it? Robinson. Obviously, Robinson made the goal, so it's nice to see the attackers coming off the bench, one creating one and one scoring one. Excellent to see. That's what you want to see. I thought Man United were poor in the first half, but we made them look poor. In the second half, we sat off them and let them come at us, and that's when they were better than us, which is kind of our own fault. I think if we'd have carried on how we were playing in the first half, we'd have won that game quite convincingly. 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, 3-1, something like that. But we didn't. We sat back, we let them come on to us, and we lost Mousse, which was a big, big loss, because he's just that kind of out player that you need. I don't think McGoldrick I don't think any of them are, other than Mousse, maybe Robinson. So it was a bit gutting to lose him, but it is what it is, guys. It's just amazing to see the heart of them to come back from letting 3 goals in 7 minutes. They could have just let their heads go down, and they didn't. It was excellent to see them come back from that, because I thought that were it. I thought it was game over. But then when Man United sat back, I'm like, it felt like it were coming. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Sorry, it's not a very analytic reaction, but I've not seen much of the game. All I've seen is the goals back. It's difficult to take in a lot of the information sometimes when you're watching. Your emotions take over. Like you can probably tell, my voice is going a little bit because I've been shouting my head off tonight, and this afternoon and tonight. So yeah, obviously you let the emotions get the best of you sometimes, and I just think that you don't take in. If I went to watch Norwich Villa, I could probably go through how Norwich have played, how Villa have played, how the goals came, where the goals came from. But when it's part of you, you're like, you just can't see anything else but the goals, the assists, the big tackles, the great balls. You don't see all the other bits that are off the ball, and you can't really work it all out because you're so engrossed in the game. And that's exactly how I felt. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully that's not going to cause them to... I don't think it will have any negative connotations. Look at what happened at the Villa game. We let 3 goals in a similar amount of time, and then they come back and didn't lose a game for the rest of the season. So I think this will spur them on even more. And the fact that we let 3 goals in and then scored another one to draw the game, I think we should give a lot of props to the boys. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. That's going to be me. I'm going to leave it there. on to the next one. Yeah, should have been a healthy win, but yeah, we've got a draw out of it. 6th place. Let's keep on going. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay good, Nick. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. And if my content is something that you might like to see more of in the future, hit the subscribe button with notifications turned on. Oh yeah, and stay good, Nick.